This episode is brought to you by TwoLineDMusicHutStore.com. TwoLineDMusicHutStore.com is your all-access to culture. Check out cultural merchandise like leggings, hats, mini boxing gloves, and bags. Also t-shirts like hip-hop, nature, rock bands, reggae, and dark fantasy. Fast shipping worldwide. That's TwoLineDMusicHutStore.com. Now let's check out this episode. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Muscle, and this is another Two Line Music Hut's Entertainment Report podcast. And today we bring back a special guest. Listen, he's been on the platform twice already, but this time we're talking to him about strictly his productions and him as a producer. You know, we have in the building today, we have Bobby Konders from Massive B in the building today. What's going on, big boss?
Hey, we out. You already know. We adjusting to the weather in New York City. Bobby Konders in the building. You already know. Big up yourself, family. Big up all the Canada family and then everybody globally on the check-in. You know what I mean?
You know how we do out here. Thank you again for coming back to the Entertainment Report podcast.
It's all love, family.
You know, it's all good. All right, but as I said, this time here, I want to talk about your productions because when it comes to your catalog, you have a sick catalog. And I don't think a lot of people really realize what type of catalog Bobby Konders Massive B has. So we're going to go through it today, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So with your even production journey, because I know you were producing house and stuff like before, but the first type of reggae-ish type of vibe I heard from you was a Muta Baruka on a house type of beat.
Yeah,
Talk to me about that there.
Well, that's basically like, before I started Massive B, I was just a street DJ, right? And, you know, that's before Massive B Sound System, Master Sounds, you know, so forth. And late 80s, you know, I was just DJing, you know, pretty successful at it as well. And the house music scene in New York was like similar like the hip hop scene. Everything played together, you know, as well as, you know, even like, you know, reggae dancehall. Mm-hmm. And I was the type of DJ that would play in clubs, but I would play a house music set or deep house music and, you know, some dancehall and, you know, a couple hip hop. Mm-hmm. And I just went, I wanted to get into the production avenue of the game. And I used to do sessions and sit-in sessions with people, you know. I used to go to Long Island. There's a studio called HC&F with a producer engineer named Philip Smart. Mm-hmm. May not know him, but he worked as an apprentice under King Tubby's.
Okay.
So I learned my reggae things a lot from Mr. Smart, who's no longer with us, but a great dear friend and a beautiful person. And this learned kind of like how to build a rhythm, as well as this mixing from that aspect. And then the house music, like I would just listen, and I was influenced from a house music producer by the Chicago sound, you know, from Trax Records, Mr. Fingers, Larry Heard, DJ National. I like the drum sounds they were using as opposed to the New York club scene.
Got you.
And we're very much influenced by the Roland 303 acid sound, the Roland 909 drum machine, the 808, which was in the hip hop, and also what I would do for my house music productions, I would take in reggae, the keyboard I think they use a lot of times was the Yamaha CZ101 or CS101. I can't remember exactly where you got that that keyboard, digital keyboard sound. I implemented that in my house music productions. And then I also sat in sessions learning, sitting in some sessions with Arthur Baker, who did a lot of hip hop in the early 80s, the B-boy stuff. I sat in sessions with Cole and Colvilles, who were big house music producers, as well as I was living in the projects in Queens, and I also sat in sessions with Marley Marl. Hip-hop.
Wow.
So I was pretty cool with Marley at the time because I was working at WBLS, and I was just in the music library, and I was a guy that actually hired me as his right hand, was Fred Bugs. And this being around BLS and knowing that I'm DJing, what's my next thing, I wanted to learn more about producing in the studio. And back then everything was digital, quarter reel to reel, tape, half inch, 24 track. So moving forward, got into the studio, produced some independent records for some independent labels. They did kind of good. And the money I made, I just, like I'm a street guy hustler, like I'm just going to go, instead of having a book studio time for $75 an hour, $100 an hour, studio time back then was very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
After a little bit of success, I got picked up as a producer for Polygram Records in 1992. Okay, I made some money and I bought my own mixing board and my own 24-track 2-inch machine.
Mm-hmm. And
the 24-track 2-inch machine is the big reel-to-reels, if you ever seen them. They probably look like dinosaurs to the young. They're big, 3 feet by 3 feet by 3.5 feet high. The big reel-to-reel. Just imagine a cassette, if they couldn't even know what a cassette is, being this big. That's what you would have each 24 tracks you would have per song. And I bought that, and that probably ran me between both the mixing board and the machine ran me like 37,000. But I knew the music I wanted to produce necessarily didn't have mainstream success. So I didn't really, I seen what the house music label did with some of my productions, and I just did the math. You sell 2,000 records at $3.50 or $3 on consignment. That's $6,000
right there.
You just where do I press the record? How do I open up a UPS account? And all these things. But if you was an entrepreneur like grassroots, you're gonna, and the passion I had this to do what I wanted to do. I just started it. You know what I'm saying? Like I even having a little bit of commercial success, I just said, well, I want to put my own house music records out. I want to do my own dancehall reggae music.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just started. And as I learned where to press the records, because at first when I started Massive B, I would just let Sonic Sound in Jamaica press my 45s.
Okay.
And you would go down to Jamaica every 3 months or 6 months or however frequent you went down, then they would just tell you what they sold. So basically you're giving your song to a distributor who would actually press the record, so forth, so on. I didn't like that concept.
I understand.
Who's going to tell me the truth? But I was up here pressing my own records on 12-inch single and album. So I was getting my money. But then the 12-inch market kind of died in the reggae community. And I just said, because at that particular time, Burro was working for me. I just said, yo, Burro, go get the stampers. And that's what they pressed the record off of. I'm going to press my own records in Jamaica. I'll bring them up. And from the time I started my label in 92, I was pressing records either in Nashville, Tennessee, in Pennsylvania, or in Jamaica. And basically, I would sell them out the back of my car. I would go to every mom and pop record shop, and I would have a receipt book. And, I would have the hammer underneath the car seat, you know what I'm saying? And just go out and do road. And I would do road for like 10, 12 hours a day, go home, sleep a little bit, and then go play in dances. And that's just basically how the label started. And as you develop your label, you learn more about it. And then that's where I realized Massive B and my productions were, I tried so hard for everything to bust in Jamaica, like as a foreign producer, a Brooklyn label, you know what I'm saying? Boy, reggae is the root, it's the rock, it's the original place. You want your things to do well in Jamaica. Then I just realized sometimes there's just so much politics and money transfer, and sometimes it didn't even matter. And I just realized globally there was a world out there that liked reggae music, and sometimes it didn't have to be whoever the current trend was in Jamaica or artist-wise. Hence, like with me and Burro Banton,
Okay, but before even Burro, let's go back to 92 because I know Burro is a big part of your journey. Let's go back to 92. What was your first reggae production after the Muta Baruka and the House Beat? What was your first reggae production that you put out?
Reggae production, my brain is good. Well, like on Massive B, basically, realistically, the first reggae production was a reggae rhythm, a one-drop reggae rhythm, kind of take off of the Hot Milk rhythm from Jamaica and from Studio One. A gentleman by the name of Sir Ralph, which was they had a team called the A-Team, Rasta Man. He used to be in a group called Manyaka. He basically played the rhythm for me. We voiced the songs at Philip Smart's studio and mixed it there. Because this was in the process of when I was getting my studio equipment. So on the first rhythm, I had Half Pint, Winner Takes It All, Can You Feel It, Winner Takes It All, Nicodemus, a song called Ride in the Town, Ina Kamosi, Hot Stepper Returning, and then I had a Brooklyn artist named Super C who played Spectrum Sound. His biggest song was Bad Boy, but he had a song on the rhythm, and a Rasta artist that some people may know that wrote and originally did Prophecy, Little Roy, and Tribal War. I think there is two biggest songs, Prophecy and Tribal War, which Fred Beggar and George Nook sung over. I had them on the rhythm. And yeah, it was a good early first production. You know, sonically, everything was great. It was mixed good. Philip mixed it for me. And, it did well. I mean, it was a start. It was the start of the journey, I just got out the gate,
And that was in 92, your first rhythm there in Bubba.
92.
Okay, so then you have that one there. It's okay. It's doing some stuff in the streets. So then after that, what was your first? How did you link up with Salaam Remi for you guys to do the Super Cat remix and stuff?
For like late 80s, early 89, 90. Salaam now is a teenage kid. I'm doing mixes for WBLS, and I'm working there. I meet Salaam through Chuck Chillout. He's carrying Chuck Chillout's records. Right? This time they have to bring your crate to the station and do your mixing and so forth. So I'm working, but I'm not a musician. I'm buying equipment, MPC, so forth, so on. I got a little everything, but Salaam is a straight. I was a vinyl junkie. And then when I started learning the technical aspects of it, I was getting into the beats and so forth, and I would listen to my records, and I would just need somebody to more or less chop it and loop it for me, because I would not sit down and read manuals. You know what I'm saying? I taught myself how to engineer. I mixed a lot of my records in my studio in Brooklyn. We'll reach that level. But Salaam was a programmer. So I said, yo, Salaam, we got cool. Cats is hollering at me to do some remixes. My name is buzzing. I said, I need some beats and so forth. Hence, our first project we did. Well, no, actually, he worked with me on my album, the Massive Sounds album on Polygram in 92. Okay. And the hit song off of that kind of was a reggae hip hop song by a local Brooklyn artist. And the song was called Mac Daddy. And that song did exceptionally well. And this is me now getting out of my Brooklyn state of mind and starting to learn that just because it's playing in Brooklyn doesn't mean it's a fucking big song. The sunshine doesn't rise in Brooklyn. Brooklyn motherfuckers may think so, but it don't. And then I'm realizing, oh shit, Cleveland ain't playing it. Dallas ain't playing it. Nobody in LA gives a fuck about it. Then I'm learning regions as a producer. I'm learning marketing and all this shit. I didn't grow up in the music industry, nor did my family. So I'm learning shit. But in certain markets like Philadelphia, it was a fucking pop #1 record.
And who was the artist?
A guy named Mikey Jarrett. He was a Brooklyn old reggae dancer.
Yes. Okay, so he was the one that gave you some success in the business.
Well, that song, I think, the song was bigger than the names on the song. People in Philly just knew Mac Daddy. They didn't know the artist. They didn't know me. You understand? Once the song got big and then people associated the name with it, then we kind of got our credit. But it's like one-hit wonders. Sometimes you know the song, you don't know the fucking artist. So, like I said, in Philly, that shit was playing next to Boyz II Men and Mariah Carey, like in rotation. It was a pop record.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, me and him, we're cool now, but it wasn't, shit got funny. So I just said, you go do your shows and I'm going to do me. So forth, so on. And the song, it was like, you got to understand, I was signed to a label that had Luther Vandross and Vanessa Williams.
Yeah.
They didn't really know what to do with that. And if I knew what I know now, from like, or even 10 years after that, I wouldn't have gave them such a diverse type sounding album.
Got you.
I would have probably just focused it more on like a hip hop side. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to being like, you know, reggae hip hop was played in New York and it played in some markets, but it was very hard for mainstream, or not even mainstream. Back then you had urban radio. For urban radio to play a reggae hip hop song when they were just, you know, on the cusp of playing more hip hop.
For sure.
In rotation. So, but I didn't really know about that stuff. I thought, shit, we hot in the streets. You know what I'm saying? You know, so, you know, and then well, after that, then after we did that, me and Salaam linked up, and Supercat had linked me. And he was with Robert Livingston at the time, and, you know, he used to work out of Philip Smart Studio, so forth, so on. And that's when we did the Dundada hip hop remix, and then the biggest one probably to this date, which really helped, I think, Supercat get to the hip hop people, was the Ghetto Red Hot remix we did.
What was the thinking behind that remix where you said, okay, this is how we're going to make it this way? Tell me how you guys came up with that.
Simple. I told Salaam we need a banging beat, right? Because a lot of Americans may not understand his patois. Patois may sound Spanish to a Yankee, right? So we got to give him a beat that the DJs can this fucking beat is ridiculous. Or they'd say back in the day, retarded. You know what I'm saying? So we gave him a banging beat, right? And if you listen, we had that old reggae sound on the bass line still, the Yamaha, you know? And we put that in there. We, you know, got the beat, then added our effects and so forth. And I just told Salaam, let's make the beat, because this is pre-digital now. This is where it gets funny. Make the beat the similar tempo as the dancehall song, the original dancehall song. So when we fly the vocals in, it will sit on the rhythm close, right? And then he said, well, how are we going to fly the vocals in? And this is, I have to, you know, pat myself on the back. I said, I have a 1/2-inch reel-to-reel tape. We're going to bounce the vocal off of the 24-track 2-inch to a DAP machine. Then we're going to bounce the vocal from the DAP machine onto the 1/2-inch 8-track. Now, why is the 1/2-inch 8-track machine important? It had pitch control.
Okay. So it's like a turntable almost like.
But you had to finesse it, because when you hit the play button, it's not like digital. It starts right away. There's that, then it starts. So, I'll never forget. So we're in D&D studio. D&D studio now, right? Manhattan, 37th Street between 9th and 10th. The crackheads are outside. And fucking, and this is a studio where I even introduced Premier to, and that's where he did a lot of his work. So forth, so on. Because prior to me working there, it was kind of like a reggae studio almost. I heard like Dennis Brown and some of them guys used to work in there. Okay. So, but it was run by some, you know, New York guys, so forth, so on. So we're in there working, and I'm trying to catch it. And Salaam's sitting on the couch, you know, falling the fuck asleep. And I'm trying to catch it. So I finally catch it. I'm riding it through. And then, you know, you listen to it. Okay, well, we got the first minute done. Go back, rewind the reel. We'll catch it. And then tell the engineer, yo, hit the record button, you know, as it's on beat. And it took a minute. But then, you know, like how we would like try to deceive or trick the people sometimes. if you feel like the vocal might be shifting a little bit or whatever, but it's not to the point where you feel like you got to do it over, in the mix, maybe you add a little echo to the vocal. You know, people will notice that then. Back then, it's like we're mixing live. You know, yo, Salaam, you got to take out the kick and the snare here. I'll bring in the bass line. Or, you know, we're doing it live, and you're trying to get certain passes, and you might have like 7 or 8 different passes when you're bouncing the mix down to that. And you choose the best ones, or you might just say, yo, fuck it, I'm tired. I'm going to take the first minute and a half of this one, the second verse of this one, and you might go to the tape and edit it together. But I think we got the pass done in one take. You know, that's how a lot of the records are made. Then, you know, because then after that, like Salaam was doing, he created his name and had great successes with doing his thing, and I'm doing my thing. And then I started doing this more hardcore reggae dancehall, and just started voicing in Jamaica and working out of Junior Reed's studio. I mean, I voiced everywhere from Jammies to Black Scorpio, but I worked out of Reed's studio, Junior Reed's studio, and then I did a lot of work. Most of my work I did at Anchor, aka Music Works, at Guzzy Clark's studio, which he had 3 rooms, and you know, a lot of times we would just work on the side room in the back, the small room. But I mean, we worked, you know, I mixed songs there. I worked mainly with Tixie, R.I.P. Tixie, a great engineer. People may know him with working with Sizzla and Anthony B. And then also Dr. Marshall, great engineer. People may know him because he had bleached his hair blonde. You know, great engineers. And I would just go to Yard then at that point. Well, I linked with Burro around 93, 94. And I just said, well, you know, I don't want to step, you know, you're dealing with Supercat, your voice for Wild Apache. Y'all do your thing. But then Supercat got signed to Columbia, and Burro just said, yo, I want to start with Vice and Ray. And we just started linking up, and Burro was in the South Bronx at the time, and I was in Bed-Stuy, and Burro would just take the train down, and we just started working. And then actually we did a boom with this hip-hop remix.
Yes.
And then video. And then we just started working, and he was just started voicing on my rhythms, you know. Then Burro went back to Jamaica around 94, 95. And we just set up shop down there. You know, I started renting an apartment from Burro's sister in Duane Park. And I used to be in Jamaica to the point where at immigration, they saying, yo, Konders, you need a visa next time you come. You know? And we started voicing, doing work. You know, and I love the foundation thing, and I realized people around the world love it. And that's didn't always play in Jamaica, the foundation rhythms, but I found a sound where I would relick foundation rhythms, but give them a little current feel, but it lose the essence of the original sound. And like some of them rhythms, like say for instance, when I put my Stalag rhythm out, it didn't necessarily get crazy play in Jamaica, but around the world, globally, people loved it because I had Nicodemus on it doing Susie Wong. I had King Kong on it doing Call Mr. Madden. And that's a story in itself, that getting that song.
Tell us about it, because this is what we're here for today.
Yeah, well, I was in England around 92, 91, 92. I think 92, over there. The label took me over there.
This is still Polygram?
Yeah, Polydor, Polygram. I think they're the same shit. And I linked up with King Kong because I obviously couldn't get with Tennis on. I said, I want some dub plates. So I voiced a bunch of dub plates with King Kong. And when I came home, I had the Stalag rhythm. I chopped up my dub plate. He and my top friend, a guy named DJ Nasty.
Yeah.
Right? We chopped it up in the MPC, and then we flew in the vocals. And if you notice on that song, it'll say Massive Sounds in 1 or 2 places. I try to take it out. As much as I could, because I didn't want this to be a dub plate. you know. So some people probably didn't even realize it was a dub plate. And he ran into a situation. So I called my friend. I met Tim Westwood years ago, who's a big hip hop DJ. Yo, Westwood, find Kong, I guess he was locked down for a second. Send this money to him. I want to send him a food because I'm putting this song out. You know, especially I didn't want to feel like I'm taking and putting this. I paid him for a dub plate. I didn't pay him for a 45. So I sent food over there, and he was locked down in Ray. And that's how my relationship with King Kong started. Aside from doing the dubs, the fact that he was locked down, I'm putting a song out, and I'm reaching out all the way from fucking Brooklyn to send this the food. You know what I mean? You're locked down. Everything helps. So Westwood is a good friend of mine. I met him, and he used to stay with me in the early 90s in Brooklyn. You know, I'd carry him around to introduce him to Funk Flex and so forth. No, funny. I got a story with Westwood, but anyway, and that's how that happened. Then I voiced Rankin Joe because I met Rankin Joe, who's like, say, a Burro Banton's idol. You know, Rankin Joe. He was in the Bronx, and I put Joe on the rhythm. And then I was in Jamaica, and I voiced a bunch of younger artists on the rhythm, and then some local artists. I would just, always like Red Fox. You know, Red Fox was popping at the time. I had an artist by the name of Prisoner of War from Seaview that was bad. Duckman, Dwayne Park. So, like, I just, them times you'd voice 10, 15 songs on a rhythm, And
how did that rhythm do for you now? Because now you're a bit more seasoned. But was this your first time actually going to Jamaica and voicing that rhythm?
No, I think I voiced in Jamaica before that.
And how did it do? Because I know with the Stalag, because you come from like a house hip hop type of background, that had a hip hoppy type of feel to it. Your Stalag.
Yeah, the hip hop crew and the Yankees in general love to ring the alarm. Ring the alarm. So that was always just a big, certain staples in that era that the hip hop DJs would play, like DJ Red Alert and so forth. So people loved the slang tang, buddy bye, so forth. I had Johnny Osborne on the rhythm too. I had Johnny Osborne on the rhythm. So to me, I was like, me as a reggae fan, I'm meeting all my idols. I'm just working with people. I love their music. So, and then I never had, this trying to put a younger artist on the rhythm, and hey, you're helping somebody out. And like I said, globally, as I press the 45s, certain 45s just would always, like, I guess realistically, the two biggest on the rhythm was the Nicodemus Susie Wong and the Johnny Osborne Rubber Dub. I think they're the two that stick in my brain that I would continually press on 45, other than if you had the album. I'd have to look at my catalog to see chronologically what songs came where. Because I think after the Half Pint came the New York City Badman Project, or Rude Boy Project. And because that came after Ghetto Red Hot.
What was the Badman Project? Who was on that project, or exactly what is that project?
I started out as Rude Boy on my label, right? And on that project, you had Louis Rankin, right? AKA, what's his movie name?
Teddy Brookshot.
Shaggy, Red Fox, Captain Remo, and Junior Demas. Okay? Oh, shit. You know what I forgot? This might have happened right after the Half Pint rhythm, The Winner Takes It All. I did a rhythm similar to the Arms House rhythm and the Bam Bam. And this is one of my first voicing in Jamaica. So it's around 93, I'm guessing. 92, 93. I had a song on the rhythm. We back then, a lot of dancehall and reggae artists would re-sing American songs. So I had a girl I met, an American girl in my neighborhood that did backgrounds for me on the Massive Sounds project on Polygram. Incredible singer. Her name was Makeda. We redid Real Love, Mary J. Blige.
Okay.
It did exceptional in New York. Right? And then I had Major Mackerel on the rhythm, Junior Demas, Simpleton. I can't even remember everybody. I'd have to open up my laptop and then I'm going to mess up your visual here. So that, and then after that rhythm, I did the Rude Boy, the New York City Rude Boy. And that was me and Salaam now back in the studio. This is 93 probably. And son, shit was popping. And how I said this album, I said, I'm gonna lick a reggae rhythm. Right? And everyone's gonna voice on the reggae rhythm, and then we're gonna take the vocals and make an independent hip-hop remix. You know what I'm saying? So everyone, even though they're on the same reggae rhythm, the one side's gonna be dancehall, other side's gonna be hip-hop. The dancehall side didn't do so great. All right? I'm still working on my production and working with musicians and trying to figure it out. Sometimes I would connect and sometimes it wouldn't. I didn't think the dancehall rhythm did that great, but the hip hop did great because, as the other artists, I had Shaggy on it, Red Fox, Louis Rankin, Captain Remo, Junior Demas, and the next Brooklyn artist, Reverend Badu. And he had a song called Bop Scoochie. And that, like, Bop Scoochie and Louis Rankin No Move got crazy play in New York by the hip-hop DJs.
Okay.
Louis Rankin's song was on the Substitution beat. Hip-hop cats, do your homework, Substitution beat. I think that's the beat they might have used for OPP and 100 other big hip-hop songs. Listen to the drum track now, not the piano, the drum track. And then on Bop Scoochie was the Impeach the President beat, I think. And that was another classic. This is New York rap, right? And the hip hop DJs cutting that shit up, and playing. And Louis Rankin had the stupid intro, but then Badu's song was wicked. Well, Louis Rankin's "Man I Move," "Mashata," and then and Reverend Badu was "Bob Scotchy," "Man I Screechy," and then "Man I Left Me." Shit was winning, son. That whereas the independent label called Stepson, which was owned by Bill Stephanie, who had his own independent label, and he was a big man at Def Jam.
Okay.
He just liked the project and said he wanted to pick it up. And then it went from New York City Rude Boy to New York City Bad Men, got picked up by Bill, and then they licensed Get a Red Hot, I guess, from Columbia. And 1-2 other songs I did, or remixes I did, I think, and they put it on there. I think Buju had a song on there. I remixed the Buju song, and maybe even a Cuddy Rank song. I can't remember.
So when did you connect with, how far down the journey did you connect with Mad Lion?
Oh, well, I knew Mad Lion before he was Mad Lion, like in Brooklyn. And then when he linked with KRS and did their thing, that shit just flew off. Yeah. But he had a song before the KRS link, before all of that, where he remixed on the Audio 2 Top Billin' beat. He chopped up Mary J. Blige's Real Love. He started DJing on it, and he had that on 45, I think. We was playing that, and then he started just getting his thing popping, and then he voiced a couple songs on Massive B as well.
Because the Shoot to Kill video. The Shoot to Kill video, you're in that Shoot to Kill video.
Yeah, and I was also in one of Funk Flex's video at that time. But yeah. I mean, it was all Brooklyn, all connected. We're on the radio. We're hot. We're hot in New York. You know what I'm saying? We think we hot globally, but we hot in New York.
But the funny thing with it, a lot of time Brooklyn dictated what was happening, even if it was couple months after the fact, Brooklyn at that time, especially the hip hop market and the reggae market,
because then obviously you have Biggie Smalls and Craig Mack and so forth. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I think in the last interview, when we did reggae hip hop remixes, we was doing that like not to change people from liking reggae or dancehall. We was doing it to introduce the song to the Yankee market, because Americans, straight Yankee DJs, were not really outside of New York now. We're not playing the reggae or dancehall. But with some marketing or promotion or the right beat, you might get some DJs in Philly or elsewhere, Miami, DC, to play your song like Yankee DJs. Obviously, the Caribbean DJ, the reggae, the dancehall DJ is going to play the authentic thing. We did that just, to try to introduce our songs to different markets that we're not playing our music, and then try to sell some units.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Right? We winning. We in the streets. We winning. And now at this point, Massive B Sounds, we're booked out 5 nights of the week. God is tired of fucking seeing me every night. You know what I'm saying? We're in the dances. Cats are getting smoking and drinking, living the fucking best life. And and then I got my studio popping. I'm cutting 1 million fucking dub plates. Money's running.
Okay, you were cutting dubs too.
Not physically cutting them, voicing them and mixing them. And then obviously get the dub cut at Don One Studio in Brooklyn, or Jamaica. And then there was some other basement spots in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? I voiced, 1 million fucking dubs. Anyway, 95 is a good year. I link up. I'm friends with Johnny Wonder, right? We're linking up. He giving me the gasoline. We're playing Bounty Killer Hard on the radio. He's that fucking guy. He's winning. You know what I'm saying? So, we're connected now with Killer. And obviously Killer's not the most pleasant person sometimes. But Killer's my G. And he links. And I just said, yo, I got my fucking label. I got a rhythm. You already know the history, the track history of what I'm working on. I'm doing good. Link up. Boom. Go to Jamaica. Now Burro's back in Jamaica, so now I'm staying in Duane Park when I fly back, right? And me and Burro, I link Killer. I don't even know. This is free. I don't think I was digital yet, like fucking sending emails. I don't think so. I'm going down there, maybe a CD, FedEx the CD or something, to Burro, and said, yo, find Killer, make him hear the rhythm. I had a rhythm called Black Riot, the Black Riot rhythm. Link up with Killer. He comes to Anchor Studio. He's cross, he's angry. This is before he's cross and angry. He's just miserable. The motherfucker sees an artist he don't like, backs out his ratchet. They start, he gives him, talks his shit, whatever. Duckman there. Duckman love the fuckery because he's a bad man. Everyone's a bad man. And get Killer in the studio, he calms down, and he voices Suicide or Murder. #1 fucking song. Right? This is straight, press the 45. I got the rhythm now. I'm voicing. We're just experimenting because I didn't go to school for this shit. You know what I'm saying? So pardon my ignorance or uneducation or lack of certain things, but we're just working off of the vibes. And now the other songs we voiced at Junior Reach Studio. You know what though? See, I even skipped the fucking rhythm. No. Yeah, I think I skipped the rhythm because the year before that, because this is how I met this artist, but we'll go back to that rhythm since we're here. Voice. I had an artist in Queens I was working with. Yeah, so this is 95. I got to tell you about 94 then. So in 95, I'm voicing an artist named Devin Clark. Kind of a Kennesaw.
King Kong-y type of sound.
Yeah. He voices a song called Make Them Go and Talk in combination with Jigsy King. I got Little Hero on the rhythm. I link up, Scorpio links me in Brooklyn. He brings him by. He voices a song on the rhythm. So I got them two. Now I'm going to Jamaica. Well, they voiced actually after Killer. So I was in Jamaica, I voiced Killer. Burro does a song on the rhythm, and then I get Chiller Inch, Chronicle, and Burro to do a combination. You know, this Vybz, and again, man, let's see where it goes. And Killer's on it. So that's 5 songs. Oh, and then you had a Queens artist, had a Buzz, Yankee B. He had a song called Chick. So all these songs come out. Yankee B gets his big bust off of that in New York called with Shave 'Em. Devin Clark got a little Vybz off and Make Them Go on Top. And Killer Songs obviously takes the rhythm, #1 dancehall song, and then I remix it. And at this time, my boys from East New York, Brooklyn, is Blasey Blah. We're friends. We all know each other, right? That's just even the whole knowing this motherfuckers is killing my phone. Knowing Guru, Premier, you know, we're all Brooklyn links. You know what I'm saying? That's Gangstar, in case people don't know who Guru and Premier are. And then Blasey is Martel. He's the rapper. And then PF Cuttin is the DJ producer. Okay, so I link with them, and I say, yo, they had When the East Is in My House. Oh my God, that song's gone. I said, yo, can I get a cut of the beat? As Jamaicans would say, can I get a cut of the rhythm? But it was a beat. So they said, yeah, let's go. We came into my studio, kind of chopped it up. Obviously, I know how to fly in vocals. So I fly in the vocals, and we take a piece of ice cream from Wu-Tang, put that in a piece of it, because that shit was hot. And this is like fucking ultimate remix, right? But then you had a rapper that we're all friends named J. Rue the Damager.
Damager, boss.
J. Rue the Damager had some hot songs. I just said, yo, son, can I get a verse? I got Bounty Killer. Cats, you know, hip-hop cats, especially in Brooklyn, they fucks with reggae artists. You know what I'm saying? They rate them. So, yeah, man, fuck that, Condors, let's go. Come to the crib. You know, I'm in like in a project type building, so I had everything set up in the living room. The microphone was set up in the kitchen. That's how we made a lot of these songs. You know, like they'll play everything. Everybody was, I wish I was like, wasn't like, everybody was more of a gangster mentality back then. We don't need no fucking pictures. Fuck a picture. Fuck a groupie motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? We ain't taking no fuck a picture. Yo, son, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Because everybody went through that apartment. Every artist that you could imagine. Ninja Man, fucking everybody. Half Pint, every fucking body. And J. Rue came in, did his verse, mixed it right there, went to press. Next thing you know, that shit's the hottest shit in New York. It's getting daytime rotation. I'm fucking thinking I'm Barry fucking Gordy, son. Motherfuckers don't know who Barry Gordy is. I'm thinking I'm fucking, okay, Dr. Dre. You know, I got shit playing on Hot 97 in rotation, son.
And remember, this is before you even get to Hot 97.
No, the radio show started in like 93, 94.
Got you.
Out to me. Funk Flex did, because I knew Flex before he was on radio. I knew him in the late 80s when he was DJing for a rap group. You understand? And we was just all connected. You know, knowing him, knowing Salaam, knowing Salaam's father. Salaam's father did work with the Fat Boys. You understand? So forth, so on. So it's just cats knowing each other, and it's connected. Life is it's relationships. And it's like cats ain't even really politicking, but we're building relationships without knowing it. And Flex, how does the man do the radio show? And then like this song was ridiculous, son, because like I said, 95, they're still playing reggae hip hop in New York. Like cats are fucking with it. The hip hop DJs are going from their couple reggae songs and couple dancehall songs they play to fucking playing reggae hip hop. And the hip hop DJs, just love that shit because, it just had that energy and that vibe. And Killer's song was like, that's like, obviously we know the hits Killer has in the dancehall market, and Suicide Murder is a hit in the dancehall market, but that catapulted to hip hop cats that weren't, say, messing with dancehall.
For sure.
And had the crazy intro, and it just worked. Hence, let me go back to 94 now, because I skipped the whole fucking rhythm, which was a big rhythm. Now at this particular time, I'm shelling. I'm doing great because I've got New York locked. My shit is popping in Jamaica because in Jamaica at that particular time, I started running advertising about 93. I started running advertising in the X News.
Okay.
First DJ producer to do that shit, record label to do that, right? And I'm taking little half pages, quarter pages, Massive B. Book Massive B. I had a picture of me and Jabba, Bobby Konders, 718-399-8897, whatever the fuck my Brooklyn number was at the time, right? Call or leave a message. But then I would also have the name of my productions, whatever rhythm I put out. So I got that going on in the X News. And then on Thursday nights on IRA FM in Jamaica, if you lived in Jamaica at the time, or if you're really into the reggae dancehall scene at the time, you might notice, they used to sell advertising. The record labels. So I would spend like, I don't know what the fuck it was, maybe $500 a week or whatever. And I would, this is US now, 500 US. So for the next 15 minutes, you're going to hear Massive B Records. And GT Taylor was the host.
Bam.
And I fucking had that run for a couple of years, I think, till it just started killing my pockets. And all it was killing my pockets. But I was looking to bust my label, bust my sound, and this Ray. We're going to New York. We're playing weekly with Afrique, Jagga B, and Super Claude. Rory was always in New York with Stone Love. Matterhorn had just left Addie's. So we're playing in all the round robin dances, the weekly dances, the gangster parties, for all the shooters, you know what I mean? All the top dogs. And we're playing there, and then, obviously we're booked out, to the point where I had to incorporate more people on the sound, like 97, 98. But we're always booked, 5 nights in a week from like Tuesday. Our only night off might have been Wednesday.
Wow.
So for years that was going on. And I think Afrique at that particular time, Steely played for Afrique, Super Witch, Crazy Richie. Afrique was like the New York Stone Love at that time. Then obviously, you had Rory was the hot boy for Stone Love, and Slaughter came, so forth. And some of the New York sounds that were the Clash sounds, obviously with the Clash sounds now. See, that's the difference. People, Addie's was the Clash sound. Danny Dredd and Babyface Matterhorn had left them, Then obviously Addie's picked up more MCs. I think Winterfresh at the time or something. And then you had like Libra Love in New York. The top juggling sound. People don't realize Major Hype played for Libra Love.
So he played for Libra Love first before he got to Massive B.
He played for a bunch of sounds before he got to Massive. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And, even before, your sounds in the late 80s, early 90s, your Clash sounds were in Brooklyn were LP, Earth Ruler, Spectrum, and King Addies. They were and then Downbeat in the Bronx and so forth. But your weekly sounds that were playing in the parties was definitely like the Afrique with Claude, Jagga B, Super Twitch, so forth. I don't know what year Steely left Africa. I can't remember. But, then, Massive B and Libra Love and Mr. Do had a sound. That was
Super Do
sound.
With Slick and those guys on it.
Then they left and started Next Level when Do stopped doing it or whatever. And I can't remember all the sounds. But yeah, so shit was popping.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you about 94 now. This is the year, but this is how I met Chronicle.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is the sick rhythm. I said, yo, fuck that. I want to put the sick rhythms from Brooklyn. I link up Peter, FM Force. He's the one that originally put the sick rhythm out with Red Fox and Naturally. Down in Jamaica. Jamaica nice, Jamaica. Right? I said, I'm going to take a piece of the rhythm and loop it and build drums around it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I kind of took my hip hop vibes and did that with the sick rhythm. And then I said, you know, Barrington Levy's my singer. Right? I missed a lot of shit. But Barrington Levy's my singer.
Mm-hmm. Right?
But I don't know if I can fucking find Barrington or whatever. You know, me and Barrington's very good friends. But he's my singer. But I hear a dub plate by Metro Media. My sound is the greatest. And who the fuck is this? I'm in Jamaica, Junior Reid studio, right? And someone says, oh, that's Chronicle from Spanish Town. I said, yo, does anybody know this guy? I want to voice his song, but I'm going to change it. Mm-hmm. Instead of I just don't want to do a sound song. I said, yeah, then find them. Boom. In the studio within the hour. I said, you introduce myself, Ray, Chronicle, it's good, da-da-da. Let's change it into a God lyrics. My God is the greatest, whatever or whoever your God is. If you believe in a God or not, that's preference, personal preference. I'm not here to judge. Do you? So it could be some people believe in the sun is their God, gives all forms of life, whatever. I just said, I think it'll be, you know, a good vibes. I want the same energy, though, that you gave me on the dub plate. Don't try to smooth it the fuck out because it's a record. I want this voice it like it's a dub plate, but where you say sound, say God. Wherever else you got to fix, we'll fix. Ray, me, Burro, Junior Reid in the studio. We're working on the Junior Reid studio at this time. And he voiced the song. Massive hit. It gives Chronicle his bust, especially in Europe. Burro voices now. You got to remember now, Burro spent time in New York. Burro's heyday was the 80s in Jamaica. Mm-hmm. Never really got the voice on the right rhythms in Jamaica. He never got that opportunity because if he'd have voiced these songs he voiced for me, say for a King Jammies, they'd have Burro differently. Burro's an icon, but he's an icon from a live DJ and the songs he voiced for Master B. But if them songs would have voiced in the 80s, Jamaica, the songs would have been bigger. Because the songs I did with him were after his heyday, but they went globally. Mm-hmm. But they all didn't really get the play he deserved in Jamaica.
Got you.
Different argument now. Mm-hmm. But Burro voices West Lord Sensi. Massive song around the world. Mm. Like in the reggae dancehall world, especially Europe, Italy, Germany, them places. Forget it. Burro's a god. This is now, I'm in a record store in Queens, and that's when I met Devin Clark. Mm-hmm. And he does a song called Stop the War. Stop the War, Ray, in that whole tennis all vibe. Mm-hmm. Voice him. And then I go to voice actually an artist on dubplate in Ocho Rios. And actually I go to voice him on 45, an artist by the name of Future Troubles. Mm. I go to Ocho Rios. I go to, what the fuck studio was that? Roof International.
Roof, yeah.
Yeah. The song voice already. I will fuck it. Give me the 45. Burro tells me, yo, that youth there bad. His name is Chiller Inch. Mm. Right, so this is prior to us in 94. Mm-hmm. I said, all right, yo, Ringe, Chiller, come. You know, we're link them up, come to Junior Reid studio. We're going to voice. I put him on the rhythm. I got Duckman on the rhythm. I got Prisoner of War on the rhythm. So them 6 songs. Mm-hmm. Burro, Chronicle, Devin Clark, Chiller, Duckman, and Prisoner of War, I think. Mm-hmm. You know. it's like I just felt the rhythm in the songs were bad. I didn't really. It was hard sometimes to always get the top artist, you know, especially in Jamaica as a foreign producer.
For sure.
And then sometimes with the attitude or the money cap, some of the artists that won, I was like, son, I mean, you're seeing me, but you don't know me. Mm-hmm. I'm not Mr. Goofy from Colorado.
Brooklyn.
No disrespect to Colorado, but I'm not that motherfucker. I'm not your roots rock reggae guy. You know what I'm saying? I love reggae and all, but I'm not that motherfucker. These bitches ain't twisting my hair up. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's all good, son. If that's, you know, that's why some of them artists I didn't fuck with at the beginning, because I ain't Mr. Silly. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I just put the rhythm out. Shit did great around the world, like record shops. And this is where I'm learning about Italy and Switzerland at this time, and Germany and Japan, and getting accounts all over them. Like, oh shit, these motherfuckers are hollering at me. And here I got accounts and records on consignment around the fucking world.
Crazy.
And I'm selling shit out my garage and out my car in the dead of winter, freezing. But when it's your thing and you're doing it from the streets, or some people say from the grassroots, like if you're doing it from what you love, and this is me spending my money, producing my music, pressing my records, and hustling, mm-hmm. The very few people are going to outwork me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially when it comes to being outside and in the streets. That's my shit. I can't sit behind a fucking desk. That's why I'm the worst at the digital game. Yeah. But for all them years, them 20 years of doing that, mm-hmm. I did that. So that's the sick rhythm. And I even forgot, like, I forget what year I released the Taxi rhythm, because somewhere in that year, 93 or 94, 95, I was putting so much fucking records out. Yeah. That's when Junior Reid did Bubblers.
Yes.
And Johnny Osborne sing over
Reasons.
And on that rhythm, probably Reid's song was the biggest. Mm-hmm. You know, and Junior Reid heard of me because I had remixed one of his songs probably back in 92 or 93. I might have did the Taxi rhythm in 95. I can't remember. But this is all between 93 and 97. I can't remember.
Because so many things is going on. There was one person that I know you only did one song with him, and this was like a Soundboy song. Garnet Silk. How did that happen?
Oh, that's way years later, son. You're in 2008.
That's way late. I thought this was in the night. No, this would have been 90 something.
I met Garnet Silk in the 90s. I voiced dub plates with him. Mm-hmm. I met him through Jack Scorpio. This is when he had his first one song out. And Scorpio said, Bobby, this youth here is going to bust. Mm-hmm. I was just leaving Jamaica and I met him. And then when I came back, like 6 months later, he had hit records. And I voiced a couple dub plates with him from a sound. And then next thing you know, he passed away. But no, I had got the acapella. Mm-hmm. And that's how I remixed that and put that on the rhythm.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? But now, all through the 90s, that's a story like a lot of people don't realize, though, because I can't even remember. Like 97, if you get to 97, that's when I came with the Cuss Cuss rhythm.
And this one here is crazy because this is one of the only rhythms I know that you had like Shinehead on. There was Anthony B on it, the King Kong again, the Tristan Palmer, and Burro Banton.
Anthony B could tell you Master B is one of the first sounds to voice him on dub plate. Because Burro Maker and Burro said, Bobby, that youth that bad, send the money. And that's when I think his first song, what was maybe Hurt My Heart? Mm-hmm. Hurt my heart, then they can't hurt my soul. So I just sent him. We got some dubs with Anthony B, built a relationship with him, and I knew somehow I got to know Bello from Star Trail, and I had the Cuss Cuss with him. Now this is where my relationship with Rankin Joe comes in. Mm-hmm. I bought a couple rhythm from Rankin Joe because I love the rubber dub sound. I love that era when the artists just sing around the sound. I love that sound, and at that particular time, people call it Jah Works, but the under Sensi, Barrington Levy rhythm was relicked. Or no, it wasn't even relicked. Bobby got a cut of the rhythm from what's the guy's name that produced with Rankin Joe? Just Screw. He got it from Just Screw. Screw and Rankin Joe used to work together and do rhythm together. Me and Joe are friends, so we worked out a business, and I bought some rhythm from him. Now I got the Cuss Cuss, which was originally done by Roots Radic Band.
Yes.
Okay, real drum and bass, bad fucking rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
And Shinehead's in the Bronx. I linked up Shinehead, and he know me. I know him. I remixed some of his stuff when he was signed to Elektra, so forth. And we took the Drew Hill song, and Shinehead is one of the most talented people you ever meet in the world. Rap, DJ, sing, fucking incredible. Like there's a couple of people I met like that can do them kind of things. Like if you ever really listen to Major Hype sing, rap, mimic people, tell jokes, and Major Hype's on that level. Shinehead can sing like fucking Michael Jackson.
Crazy.
So he sung that right in my fucking kitchen. Put the mic there, sung it there. I gave him the lyrics. He studied the came, shelled it. I went to Jamaica now.
Mm-hmm.
This is where, going back to relationships and dealing with people good. King Kong's back in Jamaica now.
Mm-hmm.
I link him. I said, yo, somehow I link him, or somehow the link is there. He hollered, he put word out for me. Yo, Ray.
Mm-hmm.
I said, yo, obviously King Kong's heyday was more with King Jammies and them. Mm-hmm. But sound boys, like reggae dancehall sound boys and dancehall people, not just people that love champagne, but dancehall people, love that sound. And like the motherfucker, he came, voiced that song. It's like a fucking spiritual vibe took over the room, son. Like he sung it in like 1 or 2 takes. And it's a rumble jumble life. But what? I said, what? Forget it. What the fuck we doing after this? Nothing.
Crazy.
Yo, son. So, yo, my G, and then I linked, obviously, Burro. We're in the lab. We're all in Anchor Studio. Burro voices Take a Set.
Mm-hmm.
Another great lyrics from Banton. The intro, bang dang, digga dang dang, digga dang dang. They take a set, take a set. And then when he did his dub plates, I said, Burro, you have to learn to adapt the lyrics for the soundboard them, because in the 90s, they just didn't want the song with their sound name in it. They want you to change the lyrics. Mm-hmm. Like Bounty Killer helped do that. We can't do Take a Set, Burro. It's got to be Kill a Set for the dub plates. Mm-hmm. And then Anthony B comes and does Warrior. Mm-hmm. Incredible song. So, and then I linked up Tristan Palmer because he had the original Cuss Cuss. Mm-hmm. And I actually voiced the dub with him, and then he did the song. I have them 5. And then after I released them 5, Little John's actually in New York, and he links me, and it says he wants to go on the rhythm, and he voiced No One Better. Mm-hmm. Anything that you can do, I can do it better. Because actually, I had voiced Little John one other time on my Taxi Rhythm. He did True Confession over.
Okay.
On the Taxi Rhythm. So he was on the album. So I had a relationship with these guys. And cats, like people started knowing me as this good youth, fine youth, Brooklyn youth, whatever. And like you're paying your dues, you're putting your work in, and you're paying people. Cats ain't gonna do shit for free for a farm. Sure. Anyway, motherfuckers are suffering. No, and it's just the reality. It's economics. Times are hard in Jamaica, so they don't want to fucking see a motherfucker looking like me on some beggy shit. And I ain't that dude anyway. You know what I'm saying? I want to leave I want everyone feeling good. At least I paid you. I paid you for something. So we can't agree on the price, then don't fucking voice the song. I told artists that already. Because then them motherfuckers try to switch up and try to. Boy, I said, yo, homeboy, we can erase that shit. Don't have to come out. Then you're feeling good that you don't feel like I robbed you. You know what I'm saying? But most 99.9% of the time, it always worked out. Here, Ray, boom. And I felt, felt good about that. Now times are different because, ain't no money running like off this digital shit for Ray. So Shaggy can tell you that. So that's kind of like the 90s. Damn.
So then let me bring you up. I'm not sure how far we're going to skip forward. You could bring me back if we need to. This is now an artist that you put on the map, which would be Collie Buddz. How did you link up with Collie Buddz?
Well, even before Collie Buddz, I just want to tell you a story about Chilla Inch. Chilla Inch turns Rasta. People don't realize this. Chilla Inch is Chesedek. Chilla Inch is my G. I just spoke to him last week. We're doing a song. We relicked the rhythm. I voiced him, Chesedek, and I already got Burro on the rhythm, and it's a reggae rhythm, a dancehall rhythm, like reggae, one drop. Yeah. And I linked up Coca T. It's the first time I'm voicing Coca T on the rhythm. But anyway, that's coming out soon. Yeah, so me and Chezzy did a lot of work before he was Chezzy, Chesedek, and like, if you just want to jump in the 2000s, you'll know that I did an album for Chesedek, and
yes, the red cover album there.
It's a picture of him. I actually licensed that album to VP. But the biggest songs on there, which you might know, are some of his biggest songs. Next to his biggest song, some was maybe "Leave the Trees." That's not my song, but the song I did with him was called "Inna the Road." Inna the road, on a Jah Love rhythm, Yabby You rhythm. Big fucking song, big video, and then also a next one called "Call Pon Them." Call pon them, poor people, are call pon them. Now that was featured on Grand Theft Auto 4 in 2007.
Okay. I
had on Grand Theft Auto 4, the big video game, do Master B radio. I made sure I licensed some songs I produced so my people could eat on the radio, and that's the relationship with Chezzy. Now Collie Buddz, they came to me and wanted me to press some of his 45s up, and my friend Pee Wee from Pretty Posse Sound in Queens, who was actually part management for Cranium, Pee Wee, linked me with Collie Buddz, and we linked up, and they gave me some finished songs. That is because I took Pee Wee one time because Pee Wee talks on the mic. I had to go to Europe. I didn't have an MC at the time, right? Jabba was booked out, and I had to go to Europe and play. And I forget who I was using at the time or whatever. Maybe he was sick or something. And I say, "Yo, Pee Wee, it's not." It's not no hardcore dancehall, but you gotta have energy. So it's not like lyrical. These people just want energy. And Pee Wee, when he went to Europe, and then he walked around the festivals, they were selling 45s. And then wherever he went, he would see Master B 45s and realize how big the label was within the reggae dancehall community around the world. On that side of the world, let's say. And he when we came back, he's managing so-and-so, and he said, well, to give Collie Buddz some credibility, Bobby, will you press some of these songs for us? So we'll have the Master B imprint and so forth, because I didn't really know Collie Buddz at the time. Okay. Talented, very talented guy. Very talented guy, great guy. Cool ass guy. And we did some work together, and then they just gave me some songs to put out for him. And the song, the 45s did great. I mean, he's very talented. You know what I'm saying? And he's on obviously doing great things because he's working with Ineffable Records now, which is a Cali-based reggae label, digital distributor as well. And they actually, I've been working with them for the last year as well, where they're working, putting out my catalog. And that's the link basically with Collie Buddz. Yeah, because I know his big song came out on the Massive B label, which was Come Around and Mamacita and all those songs there. And yeah, Tomorrow's Another Day. Yeah, Dope's producer from Black Chinese, Super Dopes. Yeah, Collie Buddz is dope. Yeah. Crazy. Another person that you have two people that you have solid links with would be
Elephant Man and Vybz Kartel.
Yeah, well, Ellie now is the link through Bounty Killer, right? Because Killer's the man in Jamaica. Him and Beanie Man are at each other's neck, but Killer's the man in Jamaica as far as we're concerned. Big up Beanie Man. We can all laugh about this later. But like we're riding, because at that time you were either riding with Beanie or you were riding with Killer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we were riding with Killer. And Killer had his whole Seaview crew. Mm-hmm. You know, his peoples. Harry Toddler, Nitty Cutchy, Boom Dynamite, and Elephant Man. Well, I met Elephant Man. They knew who I was, and I was in Record Factory, which was a dub cutting studio one day in Jamaica with Burro and Vice and everybody, Sister Nancy, everybody. You know, I suspend, and Ellie and them was there, and we just, you know, we voiced the dub, and then we just built a relationship. But the relationship was there before we knew each other. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? This through Killer, and we just always worked together. Any rhythm I had, I just would holler at Ellie. You know, I mean, if I did Scare Them Crew, even though they voiced Kick in the Door, I had them revoice it for my label.
Okay, they revoiced it for Massa B.
Kick in the door, wave in the 4-4. You know, Ellie was just taking enough of the hip hop lyrics. And then we just stayed like Ellie, you know, me and Ellie got a great energy, man. Ellie got this a fun vibe and a great energy. Like he's a dude. It's always just good vibes. You know what I'm saying? Ellie brought fun to dance hall. They smile, and we just voiced a lot of songs. You know, even on my tempo rhythm, my culture rhythms, I would put Ellie on sometimes to see if it would work. Or it's like I throw him a food, he'd voice a song, and it just, like back then, you just voice and rhythm, and you never know what's going to connect. Most things don't even connect big, but like he even told me one time, he in Trinidad, he voiced a bag of dub plates for the one song he did on one of my culture rhythms, or like rubber dub rhythms. Okay. You know, so it's just like, you know what I'm saying? You just stay working, you stay active. Mm-hmm. And the Kartel link came through Killer too. You know, like, because Bounty brought Vybz. Mm-hmm. And we voiced dubs with him, and he actually probably knew Jabba before me. Mm. Jabba was down in Jamaica voicing the dubs. And we just linked, and I just started putting them on my rhythms. There was a period where when the thing really went digital, I got lost in the business, you know. But before we get to that point, I would say you can't forget in 2004, and it took me 4 years to release this rhythm, was the Truth and Rights rhythm.
Massive rhythm.
Yeah, and that's when I had voiced first Johnny Osborne, probably back in 99.
Wow.
And I just had the rhythm sitting, because me and Johnny was just doing a little work, and, you know, I just had it sitting. I just loved the rhythm, you know. And sometimes when you just love music, sometimes as a producer or even a sound boy, you cut a dub plate because you just love the fucking song. Mm-hmm. You may not even play the dub plate, but you get caught up in this loving the fucking music and loving the dub plate. I got so many dub plates that I just, you know, I love the fucking song. Mm-hmm. And the Truth and Rights rhythm, I have to big up Madman Myrie. Ricky Myrie was living in the Bronx at the time. He was a musician. Another person I met through Philip Smart. And he built probably from 2000 or from after the Cuss Cuss, he built a lot of my culture rhythms. Okay, he didn't do the Cuss Cuss or the Taxi or the Stalag or the Sick or none of that, but he did the Truth and Rights. He did the Jah Love rhythm and so forth. He did the Dundee rhythm too, where Killer did Fire with Fire. But that rhythm was massive. Chuck Fender, All About the Weed. Trini Rasta Youth had a number.
Gary Kill, bro. That's one of my personal underground Brooklyn-y type of songs that's on the rhythm there. The Carrie Kill Picture, Selassie.
His video was wicked. He did with the school kids. Oh, incredible. Mm-hmm. Incredible. And then you had King Kong on a rhythm, another great song. go where I wanted to go. And then I was trying really to work hard with a young Rasta artist out of Jamaica named Chopper Chop. And he had a song called Lovely Day. The kids are going to school, it's a lovely day. Like real positive. And then I kind of remixed Johnny Osborne's song a little bit with Burro. So Burro, I always told Burro, I said, Burro, yeah, Massive B, how the fuck you don't have a song for this rhythm? And then I said, Burro, put a verse just so we can like have like a little flavor. There's something different than just having, you know, like add a DJ like they used to do back in the day, add a DJ to the song, you know. And the Sizzla song was incredible. I had voiced Sizzla a couple times, and that song did great. Give y'all thanks and praise. You know, so it was a massive rhythm. Richie Spice obviously was the #1 song off of the rhythm because the hip hop people embraced that, and that's another song that got mainstream radio play in New York.
Okay,
it played with the rap records, the hip hop records, and then I can't remember when Gal Yalid came out.
TOK them.
Yeah, 206, 207.
How do you connect with them now? Because they're different. They're not the regular Killa Vybz Kartel. Like, how do you link with a TOK?
Well, we had like Jabba had voiced them on Dubplate. And I mean, they were like at that particular time, they're the younger generation. You know, the newer, they were out at this time, but say they were like to some people, I must sound really fucking ancient because I'm Nicodemus and Burro and Supercat and then Bounty Killer, so forth, and Kartel. You know what I'm saying? But and these are like a real street, you know, not like uptown artists. You know what I'm saying? But we did this linked with them like, you know, this natural. You know what I'm saying? Because I embrace everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, wherever you're from, you know, whatever. If it's the love for the music, the love for the culture, and it connects, it connects.
For sure.
We just actually the direct link for them, I linked up with Shams, right? And I asked him to build me some rhythm. And Burro and him sat in the studio the one night and built the rhythm. The guy Yalid rhythm. So we voiced them. And then back then, obviously, this had to be 2005, I'm thinking. He put a lot of people on the rhythm. And Assassin went, I think Assassin's on the rhythm, Spraga, Bounty Killer. Burro had Money Friend. And here's the thing about Burro now, right? People don't realize it wasn't getting to play in Jamaica, but in Europe and around the world, Money Friend is as big as Gal Yalid. Not
That's crazy
in America, because TOK Gal Yalid got mainstream radio, like daytime radio. It was a massive hit. But outside of America or New York, you go to Germany, Italy, and them places, Burro songs as big. Boom, them already, we out boom them again. Boom out the hypocrite, boom, a Money Friend. You understand what I'm saying? And Banton song was fire. Killer song was fire. The rhythm was bad. Bad. And then somewhere in that juggling, I can't remember if this was before your leader, after I put out the rock rhythm. And that had the big song. And I got to big up. Here's how the rock rhythm happened now. I'm getting a call from Burro. Yo, Bobby, this rhythm is bad. Link up Super Twitch. He's your boy. Super Twitch and Suko built that rhythm.
Okay.
Super Twitch from Afrique. Super Twitch robbed me. Super Twitch, you robbed me, you know. No, I'm joking. Super Twitch, I paid him money for the rhythm. Right? And then I put everybody on that rhythm. Spraga had a #1. Catty. When you're bucket Catty. Right? Assassin. Spraga brought me Assassin.
Okay.
Bobby, this is my youth. Put him on the rhythm. Assassin had his first #1. May I have 2 words for you? Fuck you.
Okay, that was your song too.
That's my rhythm, the rock rhythm. That's Massive B. Killer had his song dissing Beanie Man after Sunfest. Got to sting him, and I go to Sunfest, Beanie Man. Right? I tried to get Beanie on it, but he was going like we tracked Beanie, but he didn't go on the rhythm. So I had Killer. I had everybody on that fucking rhythm. Elephant Man, Major Mackerel, Burro, Bling Dog, Anthony B. Like, I had 15 people on that rhythm. That rhythm was a massive dub plate rhythm and a big juggling rhythm. Spragga song was big. Killer song was big. I mean, nothing had the commercial success of Gaggy Lee, but in the dance hall, that rhythm fucking used to fucking shell, son.
Because as you're saying, there's different regions, there's different places, different songs and different music does good in different venues or different regions.
One off of that. X News chart. That was his first number one. Don't get it fucked up, son. No.
Say that one more time there. I missed who you said it was.
Assassin.
Yeah.
Assassin got his first number. That's before Agent Sasko. That's before Agent Sasko. You knew that.
Of course we know that. Assassin, and then Sasko. In my mind, I still see him as Assassin, you know what I mean? But we respect him and say Sasko.
That rhythm was massive. So now that's the early 2000s, and we reached 2007. I'm struggling because the game is changing. Records are really not selling like one time. I'm trying to adapt, getting lost. I'm adapting. And that's when I did Call Upon Them with Chesedek, that rhythm. And then I also did a song with Burro, which is one of Burro's biggest songs globally, next to Boom With This. It's Better Than Them.
Yes, on that hard rhythm there.
Yeah, that rhythm I called the No Borders rhythm because I voiced artists from around the world. Harry Kill Trinidad, Million Styles, Europe, a German artist, Papa Dians, Simon. I think it's Simon from Mighty Crown. They voiced on the rhythm, Japan. So I called it the No Borders rhythm, Junior Reed, so forth. But Burro had the biggest song on there. Chesedek had a nice song. Trying to think what would have been. Oh, I had a song with Shaggy, Red Fox, and Screechy Dan on the rhythm. No Borders rhythm, bad rhythm. But Burro song was like off the chain.
And when did you link up with Shabba to voice One Man?
Oh, wow. That's back in the 90s, I think.
That's not, man. That's in 2000s.
Okay, then it had to be like 2001.
Yeah.
Had to be early because that was before the rock rhythm, and I had called that rhythm the African rock. So that's 99, 2000 probably then. Nah, man, that's before 2000 because I remember I moved out of my building in 2000. So that's definitely 98, 99.
How did you link with him to do that? Because I think that's probably one of the only songs you have with him.
Yeah. No, I mean, Shabba's, it's the God. You know what I'm saying? So I linked him to voice dub plates. And, I just asked him for a 45 and had a rhythm. And he blessed me. We just dealt with the business and he blessed me. It was a good song. It did good. Actually, I remixed that. Wow, that might have been... No, that was 90s because when did Biggie Smalls have Hypnotize out?
That would be late 90s also.
Yeah, and I remixed and we chopped up, me and my boy Nasty chopped up the Herb Albert Rise beat. We chopped it up. So we just didn't take Biggie's instrumental. We chopped it up and made our own Rise beat and flew in Shabba One Man on it. And that used as a remix, and that got hip-hop play.
Yeah. We're going to divert from productions to come back to production because this matters here too. A lot of people don't realize that you were the first person to do the reggae float at the Labor Day parade. Yeah, this it's actually like Jabba's desire to do it. I knew nothing about it. I'm not from Trinidad, and I'm not the carnival guy. You know what I'm saying? But he said, yo, let's do it, Ray. And all I kept knowing was another $1,000, another $1,000, another $1,000. Next thing you know, I'm out $20,000 doing it. But we were booked out so much. And it was the start of a beautiful thing because we probably started it 2000.
or 99. And we didn't really know what we were doing. The first 2 years, we're just putting a reggae sound on the truck and wondering why our shit ain't hitting like the Trini trucks. But we got fucking Bounty Killer on the truck and Elephant Man, so we fucking the hood up. Right? We got the hood and we got Jamaica following this truck, but our sound isn't throwing the way it's supposed to. So the next year, I have a friend from a club. There used to be a club in Brooklyn called the Lead Arc. His name is Peng. And he's like, Bobby, you're doing your fucking truck wrong. You know, you got to build a stage and you got to fucking get these horns, these massive horns to throw the sound. And you can't just put a reggae sound on the truck. It's not going to do it. And that's when we stepped up, because actually I think the first year we used Soul Supreme, a Soul Supreme sound, because we were good friends with, presently still good friends with Junior P, because we used to do a Sunday night in Brooklyn on Utica Avenue at the Rock, which the club name changed every year because somebody got killed or whatever. But Junior P, Fada P, you know, Mama Sally, like we was all there, Master B, Dubmaster, and Soul Supreme, and we had a great relationship. And I just said, you know, yo, we're gonna try this, Fada P. Let's put the sound on the truck and, you know, pay your food, Ray. So we did it 1 or 2 years with them, and then I used Father Lloydie, which was Libra Love sound the next year. So after 2 or 3 years of realizing I still need a different kind of sound for the truck, and that's when I linked with my friend Peng from Trinidad. We get it right, you know, and we did it for like 10 years. It's just it's so expensive, and it was hard some years, like, because like the Carnival Association was still more into the pageantry and the Trinidad thing.
Got you.
And might have felt like we brought a different element, which we did, Parkway to the parade. We brought the street element, and we brought the whole reggae Jamaican dancehall element. And because our truck was, you know, Massive B, because before I had any sponsor, it was just me paying for it. You know what I'm saying? And that was like the first 4 years or so. And then 97 got on board, started giving me security around the truck. And then Miyoshi actually sponsored us a little. If you remember, Miyoshi was a Jamaican designer from the Bronx, moved to Cal. And he gave us a little food. So, you know, every little bit helped. And then another lady helped me with some sponsorship from some liquor company or whatever. So, you know, I did it for 10 years. Like, people didn't realize that I was getting sued by somebody for like fucking 7-8 years. Because, you know, some people just feel like you're rich. You know, and what happened was our crowd was so big. Because realistically, the two biggest trucks on the Parkway when it came to crowd was us and the Haitian truck.
Yeah.
Haiti was fucking outside. Haiti was outside representing. Real talk. But yeah, so I guess the lady and I never want to see anybody get hurt. Lady got pinned up against a tree by a police barricade. But she said it was my truck's fault because the crowd was following my truck. But I'm like, that's what the crowd and the kids do. They follow the truck. So it got thrown out of court after like 7 years. But you know, this to have that weighing on your brain for years, that's stressful.
It's hemming you up. Because I remember we used to drive down or even fly down Labor Day just to go to the Parkway, just to 100%. Once you see that Massive B truck pull up, you know it's a different ball game altogether. Son, if anybody ever wants to see it, type in Elephant Man, Wave Your Flags. You will see what our truck was, because that's a song I produced for Elephant Man. It got pretty big, especially in the Caribbean, and we did the video from the radio show throughout the truck. And on that truck that day, you had Sean Paul, Spice, Beanie Man. Every year we had stars. We had Little John the Rapper. We had Foxy Brown the Rapper. Vybz Kartel. Sizzla. Bounty, Ellie, of course. Kartel, Burro, Baby Sham. Even Allison Hines one year came on. Another year, Marshall Montana came on. Okay.
You know, the truck was sick. We did it for 10 years.
Yeah, no, because I even remember seeing a picture somewhere where it was Bounty, Vegas was on the truck too. I think Assassin it was a couple of them that was on the truck.
Let me see. Where's it at? Oh, Hold on.
Yeah. You see? That's the picture right there, boss. That's the picture. As you said, Vegas is there, Bounty is there. I think Ellie's. Tell me who's in that picture there, Bobby.
Oh, man. Rhino, the security, bounty killer security, the big guy with the glasses. Sham, Lexus, Vegas, a bunch of my friends from Brooklyn. Too many people that were on the truck that were not supposed to be. Yeah, that truck was sick, son. Here's another one earlier, a year before that. Can you see that?
Yep.
Truck. Here's an old picture of me and Jabba in the 90s. But I don't want to bore you with that shit. Hold on. I post that kind of shit on Instagram.
No, but that's the stuff we like, because remember, this right here, as I said, I spoke to you. This is the third time I'm speaking to you, but this is actually now getting into it.
Tour in Japan back in the day. Actually, I had a flood in my basement, so I can't even show you all the flyers. I had to move a lot of stuff around. I lost actually a lot of memorabilia because we had a flood down here, and it fucked up a lot of shit. But let me see. I got some shit here. I'll show you. Let me turn this light on. This is Elite Arc Brooklyn. Matsubi anniversary, Stone Love, Mighty Crown. I don't know if can you see that banner?
Your 15-year anniversary.
Yeah, I guess we're 15 years after this. Actually, this is a Wicked poster that was done in the 90s, an album I got picked up and I did. Actually, Johnny Wonder was doing A&R for TVT Records, and he has a compilation. And that was the artwork that they did. It was kind of dope. Here's, let me see. I didn't even realize. This is a Nicodemus album I put out.
Crazy. Classic album right there. Classic.
Some of the songs. Some classic shit. This is King Kong album I put out. Big is other big things. Let me see. Since we're walking the fuck around, hold on, let me see here. Well, I mean, every Thursday I generally post, 45s and shit. So let me right on. I mean, this to give people an idea of my history, because if you don't really remind them sometimes.
You understand.
Yeah, you get forgot. Susie Wong. So I could bore you with records and so forth, but yeah, I mean, blessed with an opportunity, you have to play music and take care of yourself, and then work with the icons and your friends and build relationships with people that, like, like me and Burro, like, shit, we've been friends for damn near 30 years. I met Burro years before I started working with him. I met him in Biltmore Ballroom when him and Supercat performed for King Addy's Sound. And I met him, and then I just said, yeah, I'm starting to sound. I want to voice 2 dub plates. And he came over. I was living in that same building. It might have been like Christmas Day, and he came over or whatever.
He told me, when I spoke to him, he told me the story. He said, listen, he was broke and he needed some money, and he didn't care how far you were. He was coming to voice. And yeah, it was Christmas Day that he came.
Yeah, and it was in the South Bronx, and I was living, my girl was there, and she made up some food, and probably drank some champagne or something. I don't know, something, some weed and some whatever. I'm not a champagne drinker, but I think I had a bottle of champagne. So we just voiced some dub and smoked. And that's really the first like personal link, other than just seeing him at parties and so forth.
Crazy, because
we built a relationship. Whereas, yeah, man, till this day, I speak to Burro all the time.
I know you're a big fan of Sturmars, so you got to work with Nicodemus, you got to work with Supercat, you got to work with Burro Banton, Cutty Ranks. The only 2 big ones out of the crew that you didn't get was Early B and Tenasa.
Yeah, and I had met Early B at Philip Smart's studio, but I didn't take the initiative right away to voice him on dubplate. And that's the same as Nitty Gritty. I met him in front of the record store. I'd see him all the time. And I just was like, you just don't think things are going to happen the way they do sometimes. And You know, that's why I tell you, after them experiences back then, I just started like just voicing all of my fans, you know, all that I'm a fan of, you know, like, you know, all the foundation artists that I just love that said, fuck it, man, I'm just going to, you know, just voice them because I just want to have them on dubplate.
I got you. Was the thing rhythm on, was that a digital, the Rat Squad rhythm with Kartel, Get the Road and Get Ya Easy? Was that 45 or digital?
11. Now, Ricky Blaze links me, a young Brooklyn producer. You know, well, he's actually had some hits at that time. But I remember Ricky as a young teenager playing sound. Mm-hmm. Okay, he built that rhythm, and I said, send me some rhythm, let me hear them. And like I'm still a little lost with this whole digital really thing now, but I'm keeping my label going, like to sustain my thing, you know, because there's a couple years where I'm lost, and I link up Kartel, and the week before he gets locked down, we just work it out. Because it's not the first time Kartel voiced for me. We have a relationship. We're cool. Mm-hmm. And he sends me, I said, I really wanted a song like Thank You, Ja. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Ja. I rise this morning. I said, give me, I'm in love the cultural positive mm-hmm. shit, but sometimes you can't, if an artist come with what they have in their brain, you have to work with it. So he sends me Ghetto Road. I love it. Then he links me back. Them time Kartel would voice 2 songs on a rhythm, usually a reality or a bad man song and a gal song. Mm-hmm. He hit me with the girl song, Get Gal Easy, Fuck Them Easy. Then follow me on Twitter. It's gone. It's gone. You know, a lot of times it's not even what you do for the song. You try to promote music, but sometimes the song just promotes itself and organically it just steamrolls. Kartel, especially in 2011, because like I said, he voiced for me before, but we never had the success of Get Gal Easy. And then, we kept the link and so forth. And, we did more recently in 2018, because I was like, I had a digital distributor, mm-hmm. Orchard. But sometimes when you're working with corporate America, like corporate people, they fucking don't have a clue with stuff outside of what they know.
For sure.
And a lot of times that's really white people dealing with music, like that are not into the scene.
Yeah.
It's just fucking numbers and music, whatever. It's not fucking, hip hop selling great. That's what they're fucking on now, So it was cool because I was clueless and I was at least getting some streaming money. Mm-hmm. But I needed to work with somebody that, like, if I'm submitting a song and I don't use a capital letter, fam, I don't need a fucking email to tell me it's fucking wrong. Fam, fix it. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Fix it, fam. And to the point where I'm ready to roll up in their office and turn madman. And it ain't gonna be good for them, and I'm getting locked up. So I'm holding my fucking head to the point where I just said if I'm gonna keep producing music, I need a better way just to put my music out, where I can call somebody and say, "Yo, the song is done. Here, put it the fuck out." In 2018, I go to Jamaica anyway, and I said I got to do something. My friend's staying with me, actually, a friend from Switzerland. He passed through. He's a producer, musician. He actually does some bookings for me in Europe. Riga. His name is Riga, right? And he produces Cali P out of UK, Europe, Switzerland. I meet people around the world, so enough time if they come to New York, I say, yeah, well, come stay at my house. I got a room, just come stay. Save your money. You know what I'm saying? So he said, yo, why don't you... It might have been his idea to do the Legacy, Master B Legacy Volume 1. And 2018, that's when I compile some of my biggest songs and put them on it. Like Galia Lee, Get Gal Easy. Let me see what, hold on, let me tell you what songs I put on this motherfucker. Just that the fucking, I think I got the CDs here. Mm-hmm. Where the fuck? One of these motherfuckers. Yeah. What was on this? 2018. Richie Spice. Mm-hmm. I have a Kartel song I didn't really release called What You're Selling.
Yeah.
So I put that out on there as the new song. Gayali, Burro Banton, them, Call Upon Them, Wave Your Flags. Big song on the Heavenless Rhythm. My biggest song was Sizzla. Jah will never fail.
Yes.
Big song. Chronicle, My God. King Kong, Rumble, Jumble Life, and the Bounty Killer, Suicide and Murder. Lord Clark, Brooklyn representative coming, dropping bombs on you, son. The fuck is they saying, son? Yo, fuckers get streams and they be hype. Pussy out blood clot hits. Yo, listen, I'm talking shit, son. Work with me. I'm black. You know, it's not that. You know what I'm saying? Don't feel like I'm hype. You might just turn on and feel like, damn, this motherfucker hype. Yo,
never.
Anyway, right? We're laughing. Riga is staying with me and said, yo, let's build a rhythm for that Kartel song. So we sit down, build the rhythm, so forth, so on. I get it mixed. And he says, let's make a wicked cover. And he takes all of like my memorabilia, if I'm saying it right. And he's a photographer too. And he takes the picture of that and designs the cover. And there's my 2-inch machine there, my 24-track 2-inch machine. You know, there's a gold record, but that's actually back in from like 95. They used to have the mixtape awards. And I got a mixtape award back in the day. You know, the street shit. And posters, flyers, and records, and so forth. So now it's 2018. I go to Jamaica. I hire Press K. I never did this before. You know, I never promoted myself. Right? I always promoted Burro, Jabba, people on the sound. I was cool being like I was kind of introverted. Like people feel like if you was in the streets and know me from the streets, then you say, "Motherfuckers, we drinking." Old English 800 and smoking weed and it's on some Brooklyn shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't introverted. I was in the streets, but when it came to taking pictures, my mindset was like, I ain't no fucking, you know, he's like,
no, I got you. I understand.
We was not 100%. Puffy. We was not on that puffy shit. We should have been, but we wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So I had to learn. I said, damn, especially with the thing of social media coming, I had to learn to come out and be more free and just talk to people. And even though the dancehall era of the 90s, early 2000s was very ugly in New York, a lot of people died. So you didn't really let people get too close to you. So it's like, I go to Yard, like, and these set of people heard of Massive B, heard of Bobby Konders, but never met me because I didn't go there. When I'm in Jamaica, I'm going to Skateland. I'm going to the studio. I'm going to Weddy Weddy. You know, I'm going to them places. I'm going, like, more recently, Tower Hill on Thursdays, All-Star Thursdays with Arthur Whale and the man. You know what I'm saying? You know, then linking up with a Witty and Boom Boom and them and Harry Hype, Uptown Mondays. Witty used to have a record shop in Brooklyn in the 80s. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? And put mad records out. Shelly Thunder Cuff, Teach the Youths, Barrington Levy. People don't realize Woody had a big record store in Brooklyn in the 80s. So I'm back in Jamaica now. I'm going to do these rounds, these press rounds, and I'm getting mad love. And the love is there. I appreciate it. Real Talk Jamaica showed the kid love. And I'm, you know, waiting for the whole nine. I guess Kartel finds out Ray, through his people, they holler at me. And the link is still there. And by saying less, you already know the music. We put our work in and you already, you know what I'm saying? Then we do About Us, which was a big song in New York, especially the hip hop DJs, because with the current situation of the continuation of racism and police brutality on the black and brown man in America, so forth, so on, the hip hop DJs really gave the song love. Yeah. It's a dancehall rhythm. And to some of the younger Jamaicans, dance hall rhythms are old sounding. Got you. To the young dancehall selected them, but it was a dancehall rhythm, and they don't give a fuck about us. We don't give a fuck about them. We're here. And it did great. And then, what was that, 2020, 2019? No, 2019. And then 2020, near the end of the year, I released the Junior Reed Bag Alert and the Talk Reach, the guy's a boss, and he did Badman on the Bag Alert beat, which is kind of like a Pop Smoke type beat, and got crazy fucking love in the streets.
That's the one with him, Sicker Rhymes, and Lisa Mendez? Mercedes? Mercedes, yep.
Yeah. and it did. It was just, fam, it's music and we just try things. As I tell younger people, if you're out there, you just have to try. You don't know where it's going to go. You don't know where it's going to lead to.
I got two questions for you before I got you out of here. The business now, because when you speak to a lot of artists, especially the ones from like the 80s and the 90s, they always say, oh, producers didn't deal with me good. I got robbed and all of these stuff here. But I'll tell you this much. When it comes to that argument, I've never, ever, ever heard your name in that argument whatsoever. When did you learn the business and how did you
I didn't learn the business. I learned the business from the streets and my father. Respect people. Deal with people properly. You understand? And I already know the climate between what the white man has done to people around the world. You understand what I'm saying? So if I'm going to perpetuate that, then I'm part of the problem.
Got you.
I'm not that dude. I'm not no bitch ass motherfucker, but I'm not that dude. I deal with people accordingly and I deal with them right because I know I like to be dealt with right. And it's funny, like in the dancehall world, the reggae world, remember always the one or two pussy old promoters, they'll say that didn't deal with us good. You know what I'm saying? And that'll hurt you the most because you worked all night and the motherfucker shorted your money or whatever. But and overall, most motherfuckers deal with each other good. You understand what I'm saying? So if you work as a selector, just say 200 times in a whole year, and you got fucked over 5 times. That means 195 times you got dealt with good. That's pretty good. You know what I'm saying? But this me as a person, I just respect people. You know what I'm saying? And whatever the agreement is, I try to fulfill that agreement. And it's generally not hard because back then it was like really not paperwork. It was just like I want to voice you. What are you charging me? And either I can afford it or I can't. You understand? And I just dealt with cats, and that's where I just have a great relationship with Nicodemus. Used to come stay by me all the time and come hang out, and me and Burro became family. You know what I'm saying? So forth. Most cats that are around me, we just, it's nothing wrong with trying to deal with people good. You know what I'm saying? And you build relationships that way.
You understand. Great answer there. When it comes to even right now, even in the digital era, you don't really see a lot of jugglings come out right now. You as a producer, why do we not see the juggling rhythms like we used to see them in the 90s or early?
Well, I think we're in a different era now, right? We're in a different era now where the young music is a youth-driven business. First of all, I think we can agree on that, right? Even though I got a reggae rhythm coming out with Coca Tiana, Chesedek, Burro, so forth, it's a reggae rhythm. I'm doing that more for a global perspective, right? Not necessarily thinking it's going to play on Bossy Tuesdays in Jamaica, because Jamaica has its own new sound now, right? Over the last 5-7 years or whatever, such as Trinidad has the Trinidad sound or the Zest sound. Music is very regional. Everyone has their own sound and what they're into. Jamaica, the younger generation, the younger producers, things transitioned over the years from Dave Kelly to the Genius and this, that, and the other, right? The traditional dancehall sound has changed in Jamaica, but it doesn't mean that people globally still don't love it. With a Drake or a Rihanna, a Justin Bieber, they're going to have influences and have a dancehall feels in a lot of their songs, and people love it, right? But Jamaica, the younger producers created their own sound, and you can't tell a kid that's in the garrison in Jamaica, that has not really been exposed globally, and to know the levels of what Supercat or a Bounty Killer or a Beanie Man or a Sizzler or a Vybz Kartel know, because they've traveled the world. And not necessarily when Jamaica was doing different forms of dancehall over them eras. I don't necessarily know if the producers or artists were really trying to make music, global music. I just think globally people accepted it and liked it because it made them dance. Now, the only thing I would say about the dancehall trap sound that maybe has lost the global appeal, it's not it's more bang the wall music and bust to shop music than dance music. And that's where maybe over the last 5 or 7 years, right? Maybe a Chronixx is okay because he's doing more reggae influenced music, but the Afro beats is more of dance oriented music. 105, it's 100 beats per minute, 105 where a lot of dancehall is, but you're not getting dancehall. The young sound out of Jamaica is dancehall trap, which they call it. And that's the young sound out of Jamaica. And for the young Jamaicans, when they hear a dance hall rhythm, they think that's old music.
Got you.
And they're doing their form of new dancehall now, but it hasn't maybe had the global appeal. And maybe it's because people cannot, because you have to understand, if a person in Europe is listening to dancehall, Fever, Kartel, I'm so blessed, Mr. Vegas. If they don't understand the lyrics, they can dance to it. Mm-hmm. If you listen to a dancehall trap, it's not really dance music. So hence, now, here's something people don't realize also is numbers, right? You have less, say, Jamaicans in Europe, in Japan, and globally, because there's only 2 million Jamaicans in Jamaica, and we're 50 years or 60 years, whatever fuck, from the Bob Marley era. So you have less influence globally on the younger generation around the world, whereas you have 200 million Nigerians in Nigeria that how much more live in Europe. So the kids now and the kids around the world are probably going to be more influenced musically by their friends that they go to school with, which maybe have more of a African heritage or background. Hence, they would be playing Wizkid more than a dancehall artist, let alone the Afrobeats is dance oriented. Whereas if they don't even understand Burna Boy, they could they can dance to it. It's simple, you know what I'm saying? And you know, and then another market that the dancehall market lost was a while ago, maybe 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. People don't realize this because all through the 90s, early 2000s, Latinos, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, all through South America was really following the dancehall artist. Mm-hmm. Now, Charlie Black had great success. And so 1 or 2 songs have had great success, but we're not getting the success that we used to get from the Latino market because they have their own reggaeton. They have Daddy Yankee. They have J Balvin. And these artists on Spotify are doing better than your American Beyonce and are doing as good as Drake. Like these fucking guys, these numbers, Drake's your biggest monthly listen to artist in America, right? I think. I think J Balvin got millions more than him. So the Spanish language is such a global phenomenon that they're not, them people that would say into dancehall or whatever aren't even paying attention to dancehall. They're going straight to the language that they know. And obviously reggaeton comes off of Dirtsman Hot This Year, Shabba Ranks Dembao, and so forth, so on. Dirtsman Hot This Year, Philip Smart, HCF Studio, Sting International.
Crazy.
So it's like, I don't know if we're going to ever get that, like, go back to that golden era, what that they want to call, but you can't be mad at the younger generation because if they're not really exposed globally and they just know that their shit is hot in Seaview or their shit is hot in Tivoli Garden or their neighborhood and they're getting supported and that's their ticket to eat a food, they're not preeing what was done in 97 or 2003. They just know that this shit is hot for them now and this is their chance. And you can't fight or like be mad at, you know, oh, it's like hip hop ain't what it used to be or whatever. No, things evolve and change, man.
For sure.
You know, and it's not to say it's always may not be better for you, but this is what this 18-year-old is trying to do. Now, obviously, I learned from the late 80s And my boss at WBLS told me this. He said, Bobby, you're going to lose a lot of the creative side out of hip-hop and the positive side out of hip-hop once mainstream America, and he meant the major labels, gets involved. Mm-hmm. And it's business, son. It's numbers, and they're selling numbers, and that's just what the fuck it is. So,
comes out to the numbers game. Bobby, this conversation about your journey in the business as a producer has been an epic conversation because, again, we see you on the radio, we see you all about doing all these stuff, but we never really get to hear in one place everything that you've done. And again, what we've heard in the last, call it 2 hours now, it's still not the full journey.
I got a song dropping the 29th with Cyclone and Cheddar Boss and Kisco Hype, a young producer I'm working with called Don't. What was it? Oh fuck, my brain ain't good, man. What the fuck? Bend down and push it back, bend down. It's a party song. Mm-hmm. And then after that, we're dropping the reggae rhythm with Coca T. Mm-hmm. Coca T, Burro, Chesedek, and I'll try to get 1-2 other artists on the rhythm. This is straight reggae vibes, like nice reggae vibes.
Good, nice.
So not to cut you, but
where could they check out your stuff online?
Follow me on the gram, Bobby Konders with a K, Konders. If you actually listen to this lengthy ass interview, not even was an interview, a conversation. Conversation. Where could they check out your music online? Just type the song in with the artist. It'll be there on Spotify. If you want to hear Kartel Get Gal Easy, type in Vybz Kartel Get Gal Easy. You'll hear it. Everything is up. Massive B, digital. Type in the artist and the song title. It should be up. Should be good. 1 or 2 things maybe don't reach yet or whatever, but 90% of the catalog is up. You're there. We work. Bobby, thank you so very much. And when could they check you out on Hot 97? Leave that plug. Every Sunday, 9 to 11, New York City time. 9 to 11, or you can log on to hot97.com and hear us. So don't be frightened if you hear 2 rap records. The boss makes us play a couple rap records, but we're definitely playing all the hottest and the latest artists from Jamaica, the latest dancehall. So it's definitely up. It's definitely current. Definitely. Bobby, thank you so very much for sitting down and doing this with me today. You understand? No, it's all love, family. Thank you, man. Take care of yourself. I appreciate it, man. In fact, you actually want to sit here and hear my story for 2 hours, man. You're incredible. Of course, bro. Of course. Let me give you an outro and get you out of here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Muscle, and this has been another Two Line Music Cuts Entertainment Report podcast, and we are out. This podcast is brought to you by www.twolinedmusichut.com.